What is up, everyone? Today I wanted to do a topic on how much money can you make with a cargo van business as an owner operator with your own authority. This is part two. This is about a month after the last one that I did, and I wanted to revisit it because things change as time goes on, and I wanted to get into it. So let's get right into it. What we've been pretty much averaging these first couple months as we've gotten things going, as things have been rolling, we've been averaging monthly. This is with taxes, taking out gas, and we're taking out more than usually. We're taking out 20% for taxes than most people say we need to, but we've been averaging about $4,300 to $4,500 a month. And for us, that is good because, as you guys know, we're budgeters. We're into budgeting and all that. So for us, that's been about the average of what's been going on so far. I wanted to start off right into that. And then I wanted to talk about, too, with how much you can make, because I get asked so much all the time, which obviously, and I love talking to people. I talk to people all the time. If you've seen my inbox, it's very much so full all the time. Because that's why we started this, was to help people. But it's so hard because I'll tell people because of this. Variables, how much you want to run, if you want to be local, if you want to be regional, if you want to be over the road. Now, I feel just from my experience and what I've been doing, I've only had a couple local runs being my own, because a lot of those are either the companies that have, vans, or it's companies that have vans, or those types of companies where you're under their authority and stuff, and you drive for them all day. And that's why I said that's not the goal I wanted. So for me, it's been regional or over the road. But even when I'm doing regional, I stay over the road those couple days, and that's how we make our money. But that's why I'm saying there's so many variables. It's all about how much do you want to run. But a lot of people who get into this, they'll hit me up and be like, well, I just wanted to be local, or I just wanted to, not leave the house too much. And I'm like, well, that's, in my opinion, from what I've seen and what because I've done a lot of YouTube, I still watch YouTube about it. It's just, it doesn't seem like that's it. So when it comes to how much money, you have to you have to get really into it, like it's a lifestyle. So that's what it depends. But to me, it's worth every penny being my own boss. I stayed home Monday last week, didn't get a run. I got home Friday. I was home Friday morning, and I've been home, and I'll be home Monday. I have my daughter's conferences. So that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, it's worth it because, like, no one's telling me what to do. But, like, a lot of people, I think, that get into this, they want to go local, and then that's what happens. But that's a different topic. I'm just talking about how much to make. So, like, I feel like those are a lot of variables that you need to take into account when you want to do this. Because, too, you can be over the road and make a bunch of money. Like, me owning my van, if I just stayed over there, like, when I did a 10-day one, when I first got into this, we made $2,300, I think it was, that week, or 10 days. And that was really good, and then came home and made some more. So that's what I mean. Like, it can, and it depends on where you're located. Your rates per mile. Like, I'm in the Midwest, so the rates are higher. The West Coast, they're lower. The South, they're lower. The East Coast are a little bit lower than us. From when I've gotten runs that were offered out there, and then getting back, when I was looking at getting back, it'd be cheaper. But I haven't went east yet. But anyways, I've had offers. But so that's what I'm saying, is there's so many things to consider when you're considering how much you can make. And then your hustle. Are you going to do overnight runs? Are you going to get a run in the morning and then do a run at night like I do? That's what I do when I do my regional hustle, and that's why we make good money. Some days I'll do the morning one, the night one, and then after taxes, after gas, this take home, it'll be like $800, $900. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's why I just went out 3 days and literally made $1,200 take home. So that's what, and we're overdoing the taxes. You know what I mean? So that's just what I'm saying. Are you willing to do the overnight? Are you willing to hustle? Because that's the thing too. I think a lot of people get into this and they think it's just going to be like, oh, cool, I'm going to drive around. Because, like, when I got my CDL, that's why I got my CDL. But I was driving truck, and then people bossing me around. I did like the place, but in the end, I'm like, I'm so done with this. But that's why I'm saying staying, and that's why I put constantly motivated. Like, you have to be constantly motivated, constantly wanting to hustle. But then when I take my time off, I'm done. Like I said, when I'm home with my kids and stuff, that's it. Other than this YouTube thing, that's it, dude. and my recovery. Your mental toughness and van life. That's why I'm saying too, like getting into this, you have to realize that the changes is epic. Like the first couple times I did it, I was like, whoa, this is weird. But I got used to it real quick. Like I said, I have a past to where it ain't no thing. It depends on, and I'm not saying you're not mentally tough if you don't want this. I'm saying though, van life is different. And like if you don't, like what I'm saying, if you end up not, like if you're about to get into this, it all can be different for different people. Like I only leave 3 or 4 days and I make my weekly money that we need take home. So that's what I mean. But you could be in an area like when I was talking about the variables where you cannot do that. It will not work for you to have your home life and stuff. That's why I'm saying like it depends on so many variables. That's why I wanted to make this video again. And I'm going to make them here and there just because like, yeah, to update what I've learned. And like I said, I'm new to this. So comment below if you know anything that you could put insight on who's been doing this a lot longer. But this is just from my experience of what I have seen. Now, when I want to get back to more variables, there's insurance, there's van payments, and I've heard gas cards now too. Like, so it all depends on your variables. Like I own my van and my insurance is lower because I have a CDL. I do have a DUI that's like 10 years, 11 years old. So, but other than that, I've never had a speeding ticket, never had anything. So my insurance is like $560 a month. And then $850 a year for commercial. So that's what I mean. There's so many variables. And then van payments. So many people have hit me up. Oh, I got the insurance. I got van payments. So a lot of them go driving for a company. Then they hit me up. I don't like this. Da-da-da-da. I wish I would have just bought a van like you did and just paid outright so I didn't have that over my head. And that's why another thing I wrote on this is a goose egg. If you have backup money, like I said, we hustled 8 years to get it. So it's not like we just had money. But we have backup money to where if anything happens with the van, any issues, or when we had our slow week 2 weeks ago, it wasn't a crazy ordeal. But if you're living paycheck to paycheck, that could get very bad because owning your own business and doing this is like, it's all on you. There's no, but we have other avenues of revenue, but not huge. But then too, my wife does work Saturdays and makes good money doing hair, just even the 1 day a week she does it. Other variables like gas prices and rates. Like I said, rates in your area. And if gas prices are skyrocketing and rates are really bad in your area, or if you're not by a city, that's why I'm saying with how much you can make, it really, really all depends. But I can speak from personal experience, and I've seen other people who make decent money everywhere in this country. Or people that I've talked to. But then they have those other variables like insurance and van payments and this and that and like, so there's so many variables. And then next I put like budgeting, spending smart, food, drinks, like just like I did really bad on my last one. We could have came home with $1,400 probably spending money, but I just was being stupid. I got that gas app Upside. The link is in the description. But that thing I love. I mean, I got like $80 on it right now. I'm just saving that because I'm saving for a hotel, this cool hotel we love to go to. So that's just being saved for like fun for the family. But now I'm adjusting. Like I eat peanut butter sandwiches on the road. And then I get my one big meal. Because as you know, I don't want to get super huge either and unhealthy, but I should be eating better. But that's what I mean. And that's why, too, I learned no more Caribou and Starbucks. I wasn't ever into that until I did this when I have to do my double runs or something like that. But it literally, I learned Panera has like $3.50 for the same amount of shots of espresso, it's just crazy. But that's what I mean, adjusting. And that's why there's so many variables when you're getting into this on how much you can make. And next I wanted to go into knowing your worth. Like, knowing what you're worth, because I feel like a lot of people who are like, man, I ain't getting paid nothing, this sucks, this, that, and the other, and I know it's because of the companies too, or the places that you went through, or where you're getting your loads, but at the same time, you got to know your worth, and just, if that's not going to suit your needs, move on. Just be like, okay, well, if you're not going to pay me, or if this ain't going to be, like, if the brokers ain't going to pay you, then you just, I know my worth, so I'm gonna be looking for a different way to make money. That's why I'm saying with how much you can make, there's so many variables. Weeks differ, I put too. Like we had a 1,500 week. Like I said before, we had that $2,300 week. We had one time we went for 6 days. I made 1,700, but that's why we switched it to the 3 to 4 days a week. But in the 3 to 4 days a week, we can make up to 1,500. We can make up to $1,200, which is the usual, $800 profit, and then we had that 500 week that first month of March, which was just so. Then we sort of rate it monthly average. My wife keeps track of all of the books of everything, and she's been like that before this. When we got really into finances and budgeting 7 years ago. And that's why now the last thing I wanted to say is, and I know I've repeated a lot, but I just feel like I got to get it out there. All depends on your situation and all these variables. That's why when we were looking into this, we watched so much YouTube. Like insane amounts. But that's why we made our channel to where we wanted to give this insight that we were really, really, really looking for. And we did get it. I'm not saying like there wasn't, but that's why we made this, was just to help others when they were about to step into this journey. And I keep it 100, as the kids would say, with people. Like some people will tell me like, oh, this, that, I got the vamp hand, this and that. And I'll be like, well, yeah, I'll be like, I'm not telling you to quit. This is a motivational thing that I'm doing because I want to motivate people. But I'm saying if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. I mean, what are you going to do? I say recalibrate, go back to your job. If it's literally you're not making your bills, because people have told me that, I'll be like, well, then go and then buy a van outright, do that. Yeah, I mean, and if it really is even your dream, that you can relocate. I mean, we moved from Florida back to Minnesota twice like it was nothing. You know what I mean? Or back and forth, like... Obviously, that's why too I'm saying, like, if this is really your dream to be your own boss and do this industry, I mean, there's other avenues that you could take, but that was pretty much all I wanted to talk about, was how much money can you make with this. And I did a video like this a month ago, but I want to keep redoing these because it can all change on the knowledge that I learn, or what I've learned, or what I've seen, or the amount of people that talk to me and the amount of issues I hear, which makes sense. And I talk to people all the time and try to help and like see what I can. But that's why I said I'll keep it 100 and be like, dude, because if you go into it and you're just like, you don't like, or they'll ask me beforehand, which is great because I'll be like, oh, this area you're in, or what I know about this, or okay, well, if you're going to have a van payment of this or that. I said, it sounds like you're going to end up driving for a company, not with your own authority. And they were like, then they'll be like, oh, really? But then sometimes they'll hit me up a week later and go, I bought a van. And I go, oh. Well, and then a month later or 2 weeks later, whatever, they'll be like, oh, this ain't working. I am driving for a company. And then 2 weeks later again, they'll be like, oh, now it's not even working at the company. I hate it there. It's like having a job. But that's why I wanted to do this about how much money can you make. There's so many variables. And that's the thing. There's so many variables. But sometimes you just got to take that leap of faith. But also do your research. Like, we wouldn't have done this if we didn't know the Midwest was good. But also it's the hustle. Like there's people that I know that are in the Midwest who hit me up and they're freaking out. But it's all about if you want this to be a lifestyle. Or I've noticed a lot of people hit me up and they go, oh, da, 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 and I'll help them. And then they'll start working and then they go, oh, well, I wanted to be home more. I wanted this more. I wanted that more. Well, you got to adjust. And you do got to get what you want. That's the point of being your own boss. But at the same time, you do have to sacrifice and do the hard work to get to the point. Because the first 2 months were insanely stressful. And now we're to the point where we're like just living it, doing our thing and enjoying it. But we still get stressed out because every decision you make on moving, taking loads, it all lands on you and it can affect everything. But anyways... That's all I wanted to say. There's so many variables, for real. So with all that being said, this is all about motivation, not trying to get anyone down, but I'm trying to keep it real on these videos, and that's why I made these videos. I make these videos, and that's why me and my wife even break down the money, because we want to show people what's going on. But anyways, stay motivated, keep hustling, like, share, subscribe if you want to, hit the bell notification if you want to. But thanks for listening to me, and if you got anything from this, that's good. But also comment below if you want to talk or if you want to message. I also have a Facebook page. Please reach out to me on there. Everyone have a blessed day and keep hustling.